Guess you went to go see Spiderman No Way Home. Rue came with me. So we had not been to the theaters since Frozen 2 came out, which was in 2019. So we were so excited to go to the theater, and I'm so happy this was the movie that we got to go see together, and it was just so awesome. So I'm going to do a spoiler review because this movie has been out for not very long, but a little bit. So, and also, I don't know how I can talk about this movie and not spoil it. So I'm going to do a spoiler review. I will do a little tiny part without spoilers right now, though. So I would highly recommend this movie. This movie is so much fun, but oh my goodness, is it an emotional roller coaster? Make sure that you're ready for that, because I knew it was gonna be an emotional roller coaster, but I was not expecting how much it would be one. Um, so I thought Endgame was an emotional roller coaster, and it was about as like the most emotional roller coaster movie I've ever seen was Endgame, and it was close to that. So there's your warning. Be warned, it is an emotional roller coaster. But it is a fun movie. There's a lot of great things in it. I loved it. The characters were great. All the new things in the movie were awesome. It's just as great as everyone's been saying it is. I would highly recommend it. If you can go to the theater, I would recommend going to see this movie. If you can't, I completely understand with the pandemic and all the things happening in the world right now. If you're not comfortable with that, you should stay home and wait till it goes on a streaming service or on Amazon Prime, and so that you can enjoy it while you're at home and feel safe. But if you are thinking about doing it, I would highly recommend going to see this movie. So now I'm gonna do spoilers because I'm sorry it wasn't that long, but I really have a lot to say and I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna start it right now. Okay, here are spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, hello to the people that are still here, goodbye to the people that aren't, and we're now going to do spoilers. Um, like the first sentence, like right now, I'm going to do one of the biggest spoilers. So we got the Spider-Man, which I was pretty certain they were gonna do. At first, it was like, okay, they're not gonna do it. It's just people getting overly excited. And then I saw the trailers and I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna do it. And they ended up doing it. And they did it super, super well. I would say that if you're going to see this movie, I don't know why you're here and if you haven't already seen it, but if you are still here for some reason, I would recommend doing at least having watched the other movies. I don't think it will ruin your experience, but if you don't know what's going on with the other Spider-Men and the villains, you might not understand what's going on as much. So I would highly recommend going and at least doing something with that. So yeah, what I did is I just watched clips and reviews over the movies just to refresh my brain on the movies on YouTube. So it like you don't need to go through and have the Spider-Man movie marathon, but you're free to. That sounds like a lot of fun. I just didn't have time for that. So, um, but yeah, I would highly recommend doing some like refreshing of these movies so that you know something about it. Okay. So I really like what they did with that. The three Peter Parkers, um, were really, really awesome. And the two new ones were really, really awesome additions. And I love what they did with talking about all uh, their their time throughout their movies and how they're similar but they're also very different. Like when Tobey Maguire's Peter was being like, yeah, my best friend became villain, and he died. When Ned asked him about that, and Ned was like, I won't do that to you, Peter. I will never do that to you. And that was a pretty cool thing. Everything with Gwen Stacy and MJ was, those comparisons in this movie were awesome. My favorite part of the movie, probably my favorite scene in the movie, I don't know if it was my favorite part, was when MJ fell down and then Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man went and like saved her, in his face after that. I just have to say, all the acting in this movie was phenomenal, especially with that scene. That scene was so good. I loved it. Yeah. It was my favorite part, and I don't know. I was not expecting that, but it was. I really thought that she was gonna die. Cause she kind of, she didn't die, but I really hope she's in future movies, because I really liked Peter and MJ's relationship in this movie. I liked it a lot. I liked it before this movie too. They're just really cool characters, and they did a great job with making their relationship feel like real. In the future movies, it's kind of just been, we're awkward and don't know what to do, which was still really awesome. It was nice, but I feel like they like had a lot of character development in this movie of the two of them, and then they just ended it because everyone forgot who Peter was, and then when he went to go talk to her at the coffee shop, he was like, yeah, I just want a coffee, and then left. I'm happy he did that, because she probably would have just resented him and been like, you're not alright. I'm gonna call the police on you, because I'm sorry, but if someone came up to me and said, yeah, in another, you forgot about me, but I'm your boyfriend, and I'm Spider-Man, and we've known each other for this long, and we went to high school together, and I had to make this decision to make everyone forget who I am, I would probably not believe them. I would be like, oh, okay, no, I don't think I would have reacted well to that. So I'm happy he decided to do what he did, but also I'm sad because it would have. It's. I don't think this will be her last time though. I really doubt it. They're gonna have Spider-Man in future projects. Spider-Man is probably the most popular superhero right now, outside of Wanda, because I think it's. Yeah, I would say that. And Yelena's up there too. So I don't think they're gonna do anything with him that, like, he's just gonna end his movies right now and MJ and Ned will never know who he is again. I highly doubt that. But if that is how it ends, it was still really sad because it could end that way. I doubt it, knowing Marvel, but it could end that way. Maybe. So it was a really good ending. I really liked it. I did not like the cliffhanger because I felt really sad, but it was a really good way of ending the movie. And I knew Marvel was going to do a great big cliffhanger for this movie because this is the biggest movie that they've made all year. So, like, you have Shang-Chi, Eternals, and I still haven't seen Eternals yet because it's not on Disney Plus, and Black Widow, and they're all great movies, but they're definitely not as good as this one. I would say most of them are like, if I were to rank all the Marvel movies, I don't know where Eternals is, but the Black Widow and Shang-Chi would definitely be like in the middle of my ranking, where No Way Home would definitely be at the top. Because this actually there's no might about it. This is my top 5 favorite Marvel movies of all time. Uh, so this just shows how much I love it. And that ending, I feel like I'm rambling a lot, so hopefully you guys are still entertained. I'm gonna move away from that ending and talk more about the villains because I haven't even gotten to the villains. Doc Ock was probably my favorite villain, but I like my favorite villain was Green Goblin. I liked Electro too. Uh, the Lizard. He just I felt like he was there mostly there just for jokes, which I wish we got to see more of him, but that's fine, I guess. The Sandman was pretty cool. I liked him. Especially at the end where I really liked how Peter went about it and trying to make all these people have better lives and having these things that made them evil taken away from them, and how Andrew and Toby's Peters also helped with that. I really liked how they were a team and how they had to learn how to be a part of a team, and how Tom's Peter helped them with that. I thought that was really awesome. I liked how that was addressed. What else? Oh, the scene where the MCU Spider-Man is like, yeah, I'm a part of the Avengers, and then the other two were like, cool, but I don't know what the Avengers are. Is that supposed to mean anything to me? I thought that was a really funny part. Um, okay, I need to talk about Aunt May now. I'm not gonna lie, Aunt May was a character I really liked, but not a character I focused that much on. Um, and when she died, it made me realize that she's actually really awesome. I liked her a lot more than I thought I did. And I was really sad when she died, especially with Happy, because Happy is great. I've always really liked Happy. Um so I was like, okay, Happy. Oh. And then that last scene where after Doctor Strange does the spell and he goes up to Peter, he's like, how'd you know? Because they're at Maya's grave. Like, how'd you know her? And he said through Spider-Man, and he had no idea that it's Spider-Man. It's that was just all of the scenes where he's going and talking to all these people that meant so much to him, and now they have no idea who he is. Was that was by far the saddest part of the movie, especially with May dying. It's just like Peter went through so much in this movie, and then like at the end, it just everything that he had done for him in his life is just gone. It was sad. It was a sad part. Doctor Strange, I thought he was gonna be in this movie more. For most of the movie, he's just like no, he's not in it because he tries to stop Peter, and then Peter stops him, and then he just shows up when Ned does the Doctor Strange spell, which was cool. I did think it was kind of weird that he was able to do it like super fast. Doctor Strange had to learn that for a full movie, but it really didn't bother me. I just thought it was kind of strange that they didn't have him practice it. He just did it 3 times. He's like, I'm perfect at this. And he wasn't perfect at it. So if he was like the best at it in the world, then I would have a lot more of a problem with it. But we're talking about a Spider-Man movie. Like, it doesn't have to be very accurate to real life. I don't really care that much. I'm not a person who like nitpicks all those little things like many people do. As long as I had a great time, so that's all I ask of a movie. If I had a great time with it, then I'm gonna enjoy it. So yeah, um, I I'll just say it was a great movie. The ending was awesome. All the Spider-Mans were really great. I loved the villains. Although some of them I don't think got as much screen time as I would have wished. Uh, it was still really cool. I liked the end credit scene with Venom. I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna do with that, but I'm up for anything. So I'm just excited that they acknowledged that he existed in this movie, because I was kind of a little. I thought it was kind of strange that they just. There was one line in the whole movie, and I was like, okay, they're not gonna do anything with this? Oh, okay. And then we got that end credit scene, which was interesting, but also it made it an even worse cliffhanger. As long as they don't ever do Emo Peter again, I'm okay. Emo Peter was hilarious, but not exactly anything I want to see again. Yeah, there's that. And so yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. I hope you're having a wonderful day. To end my thoughts on this, I really enjoyed it. I thought the acting was great. There were some parts I could nitpick about, but nothing that I thought really impacted my movie experience that I think I watched. I was like, oh, I hate that. There wasn't a single thing like that. And I think that just shows how good of a movie this is. This is Spider-Man, I think, has now become my favorite trilogy Marvel has ever made. For a long time, it was Captain America. And Spider-Man might have taken that spot. So, and Captain America is one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time. So, I just have a lot to say about this. I hope I said it in an entertaining way and that you enjoyed it. I would highly recommend this movie if you can go to theaters, or just wait when it goes on a streaming service for people who don't feel comfortable going to the theater yet. I would stay off the internet though, because spoilers. People are doing pretty good with this movie. That's another thing I wanted to say, is thank you to Marvel fans for understanding spoilers are real and there are people who are not able to go to the theaters. I was very, very happy with people putting spoiler warnings or things like that. So good job to you guys, Marvel fans. Yeah, so I just thank you for watching this video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you 3000 and stay safe. Bye guys!